But what you're seeing here, I think, is the last gasp of the divisions that started in the 60s as the country began to change. And I remain very much an optimist about this country, principally because of people in your generation. So the first thing I want to say about the Constitution that many people forget is that the first one failed. We had the Articles of Confederation, which had a very loose federation of the 13 colonies. And it was really impossible to govern the country. And in 1787, 11 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed, in fact, they came together, and the founding fathers, or some of them, the ones that were still around, came together and wrote the Constitution of the United States, starting in May of 1787. Now, why do I mention that? Because today, without the perspective, when you hear politicians talking about the Constitution, and particularly when you hear them lecturing other countries about democracy, I do a lot of work for pro-democracy organizations. So there's a group called the National Democratic Institute, and I do a lot of work in the Balkans. We do work in China, and I'm actually, at the end of the month, going to Moldova and Ukraine. And it is incredibly foolish for Americans to lecture other countries about democracy, because democracy is an evolutionary process that you have to work on. It didn't just descend from the heavens by magic. It evolved. And ours evolved 235 years ago. And places like Kosovo are undergoing this too. It annoys me to see people talk down to the Kosovars who are 3 years into starting a new country, with problems with elections and corruption in elections and parliamentary snarls, because they're working through the same kind of processes that we had worked through. And we are still working through. So that's the first thing, is to remember that constitutions are living documents. And the founding fathers actually went back to rewrite the Articles of Confederation, discovered they couldn't, and they threw the whole thing out and started all over again with the Constitution.